Hey everybody, Richard Hart here. Thanks very much for joining me for the exclusive glute workout video. As with any other type of physical exercise, you want to be checking with your physician or doctor to make sure that you're physically able to be doing these exercises without them causing any type of harm to your body. So please make sure you do that first. Also, anytime you're about to focus on a specific type of exercise, glutes, abdomens especially, these two exercises will cause you to build muscle very quickly. And if you are not at or near your target weight, you will end up putting muscle on top of fat or intermingling both. Kind of like if you've ever seen corned beef, there's fat mixed in with all of the meat. And you don't want that. So do not be doing this, the glute or the abdominal exercises, if you're not at or near your target weight. So now many of you, if you're viewing this right now, have already gone through the cardio calisthenics basic program or the cardio C basic program. In that, there are certain exercises that do work glutes. One of them is the knee lifts. And knee lifts, just very quickly, again, you've done those before. The next one is toe touches. And so on toe touches, again, that was part of the cardio calisthenics program. Next one was down on the leg lifts out. And on leg lifts out, again, this was working glutes. And then leg lifts up was also working glutes. And so the purpose, again, of this video is to focus only on a glute workout. So what we're going to be doing here is 2 is going to end up being my model for these exercises. What we will be doing is going through each exercise on its own, and I'll be narrating while the camera is focused on 2 doing these exercises. Very important part here is there are certain exercises you can do that are like lightning rods for getting the job done quickly. There are other exercises that are just good for what you're trying to accomplish. We're going to be going through a number of exercises, and the ones that I call are just regular good, not the ones that are meant to get you from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, but just the good exercises. Those exercises you usually want to go through them all and then do the ones, maybe pick 4 or 5 that feel like they're working best for your body type or where you are in your workout stage. So again, go through all of the exercises that are contained in this video at least once or twice, and you'll start feeling, oh, hold it, that particular exercise works better for me than this one over here. So don't feel that you need to do every exercise on this video. This video is intended to build strong glutes, and that's what you're looking for. So again, that's it. Good luck with the video, and let me know how you're doing. Our first exercise is split squats. This is the #1 fastest way to be building glutes. And as you can see, you've got hands on hips, you're lunging down so that your right knee, left knee are barely touching the floor or not even touching the floor, maybe an inch above, and you're just repeating this. The goal here is to do as many as possible. And you want to work up to this exercise. I can pretty much guarantee that if you go out and try to do 40 or 50 of these today, you're not going to be walking tomorrow. So again, you want to build up to this, maybe 10 on the first day, 20 on the second day, and then up to as many as you can. So anyway, that's it for split squats. Okay, so now our next series of exercises are what I call just standard progression glute workouts. The split squats was, as I said, the #1 fastest way to build tight glutes. Our first exercise is just squats. And so these are just simple, hands on hips, bending down in such a manner that you can feel this working your glutes. Now, here's the important thing. You're doing this as though you are acting like you're sitting onto a chair. If you're feeling a lot of this in your legs, then you are not using your glutes to do this exercise. You're using your legs to do this. What you want to do here is you want to do a set of 10, rest for 30 seconds, another set of 10, rest for 30 seconds, and a third set of 10, and then you're done. At some point, you may want to work your way up to 40 or 50, but this is primarily just 3 sets of 10. So that's basically it for squats. Okay, our next exercise is squats with arms extended. So again, very similar to the first one. feet about shoulder width apart, and you're just going to squat down, but this time instead of hands on hips, you're going to bring your arms out. So from your sides, out. From your sides, out. Again, set of 10, rest for 30 seconds, set of 10, rest for 30 seconds, a third set of 10, and you're done. Very simple. Next exercise is squats with weights. So all we're doing here is adding weights to the exercise. So as you can see, again, dropping down and extending the weights. You can do this in one of two ways. You can either drop down and extend the weights the way Tu is doing right now, where she is actually using an arms cocked position, or you can just keep the weights flat at your side and just go up and down. The only thing the weights are really doing here is they're just adding resistance to this exercise. Again, 3 sets of 10 with 30-second rest intervals. So very simple, very straightforward. I'm not a giant fan of using weights in any of my exercises, but this is a good way to just increase the resistance on this particular exercise. Our next exercise is walking lunges. You've got hands on hips, and all you're doing is stepping forward, dropping down to a knee, stepping forward, dropping down to a knee, stepping forward, dropping down to a knee. Our next exercise is step-ups, and this is where you have a chair or other item that is about 18 inches off the ground, above 12 inches, maybe less than 2 feet, and all you're doing here is stepping up and stepping down. Stepping up, stepping down. You can have your hands on your sides, you can have them loose, that part does not matter. What you're going to do is do this for about a minute, and then take a break for about 30 or 40 seconds, and then do it for another minute. As you can see here, the goal is to be able to do many of these exercises where you do not have to be in a gymnasium or a spa to be doing them. And so this is something that you can very easily be doing with your dining room or your kitchenette type chair. Make sure the chair is not a folding chair, that it does have all fours and can sit solid on the floor. That's it for this one. Our next exercise is what I call the counter lean. Now, you can lean on a chair, you can lean on a counter, you can lean on a table, but you have to be using something for stability. What you're doing here is you're leaning against it, almost as though you're going to do like a half push-up, and then you're going to lift your leg backwards, and in a straight kick, lift further, right like Tu is doing at this exact second, and you're going to do this exercise. You can do it a couple different ways. One is the way she's doing it right now, where you might do 4 or 5 kicks out. Another is where you can actually lift the leg and just hold it as high as you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. The more straight you're standing during this exercise, the more you're going to feel this in your glutes. There's another variation for this, and that's where you're standing out and you're circling. So you're putting your leg out, but moving it in circles, either clockwise or counterclockwise. And that's where you feel, again, a little bit more impact than just keeping a straight leg. In either of these situations, what you're going to do is do the exercise for roughly 30 or 40 seconds, take a break for 30 seconds, and do another set. Again, you're looking at 3 sets for each leg. So make sure that you're doing both legs and alternating between legs between each exercise. Our next exercise is what I term the reverse plank. What you want to do here is lay down on your back, bend your knees so that your feet are flat on the floor, then lift your hips off the ground so your body is forming a straight line from your knees down to your neck. Now make sure on this exercise that you're not leaning on your neck. The idea is to be leaning on your shoulder blades so that it's being properly performed. You want to hold this position for as long as you can. This should be at least 30 or 40 seconds, but again, as you're ramping up to this exercise, you don't have to be doing 5 minutes on the first day. You should be feeling this in your glutes, and you should be holding it tight and keeping your glutes tight during the entire exercise. Make sure that you don't turn this into a stomach exercise. After each set, rest for 15 or 20 seconds and repeat. You're looking to repeat this exercise approximately 4 or 5 times. Another version of this exercise is to lift your hips up and down. And what you're doing in that is you're only lifting for 1 or 2 seconds. You're holding in position for 1 or 2 seconds, and then you're dropping down. then lifting up for 1 or 2 seconds, then dropping down. When you do this exercise, you're going to do it as many times as you can, and then you're done. So there aren't going to be any breaks here. You're only taking breaks if you're holding position for 30 or 40 seconds. So that's it for the reverse plank. Our next exercise is what I call glute contractions. What you want to do is just lay down on your back, your legs fully extended out, but all parts of your body are still on the floor. Now, in this particular position, Tu has her left hand across her stomach so that you can see how this exercise is working. Generally speaking, you want both arms at each side. So all you're going to do here is contract your glutes and then let go. So you contract, hold for 1 second, let go. Contract and hold for 1 second, let go. And you'll do this quickly, so do them in quick repetitions, one after another. There'll be times when I'll do these, I'll do 3 or 4 or 500 of these in one set. So you can do them very quickly and just knock down roughly 80 to 100 in a minute, or you can also just hold for 10, 20, or 30 seconds. Both are equally effective and both work very well. But as you can see here, Tu's body is moving about an inch every time she contracts her glutes. Very important that you've got to get that movement or you are not doing this exercise properly. Anyway, that's it for our glute contractions. Our next exercise is the hyperextension. This is requiring a hyperextension machine, so again, there is no alternate for this exercise. What you're going to see here is that this exercise actually works your lower back and your glutes. Be very careful if you have any type of lower back issue that I don't want you doing the bending part of this exercise. I just want you to do the holding part, and you'll understand what I'm talking about in 1 minute. But right now, what we're going to show you is you're going to extend your body up. Your hands are next to your ears. You extend up to a straight line. Do not overextend on this exercise or you can end up hurting one of your discs. You will extend up, 1/1000, 2/1000. Drop back down as far as you can, 1/1000, then go back up. 2/1000, 2/1000. Drop back down, 2/1000. Go back up, 3/1000, 3/1000. You're going to hold it. Very important that you are not what you call swinging through this exercise. You'll see people on these machines and they'll be swinging through these exercises. Don't do that. Now, while I've been talking, Tu has been holding this position for roughly 10 or 15 seconds. This is the second way. It's called a modification of the hyperextension. And all you're doing is getting into position and holding position. There is no bending. If you have a potential for a bad back, this is what you want to be doing. This is not working your lower back nearly as much as it's working your glutes and the backs of your legs. You will hold the position for as long as you can, rest 1 minute, repeat. Hold it as long as you can, rest 1 minute, repeat. You're going to do 3 sets of this exercise. If you're going up and down where you're counting 1/1000, 2/1000, you'll do as many as you can, and when you're done, you're done. So we're finished with this. You can also use the ball for this exercise, those large round gymnasium balls. So you do not have to have the hyperextension machine to be able to do this exercise if you have one of those workout balls at your house. Okay, the next one is just what I call a wall sit. This is more of a show-off type of exercise, but if you can master it, you can end up with rock-hard glutes and a lot of money that you'll win on bets. All you're doing here is placing your body in a sitting position where your back is against a wall. Your knees are bent at a 90-degree angle and are on the same level as your legs are on the same level as your butt. It looks like you're sitting in a chair, but you're just leaning against the wall. You're using primarily on this exercise your glutes and your quads, but trust me, both will end up being worked on this. You want to hold the position for as long as you can. Then take a 20 or 30 second rest, and then drop back into the position and repeat the exercise 3 to 5 times. As I said, this is not the best for working your glutes. It's a much better way to just win a lot of bets. That's it.